Do you speak English?
Yes, a little bit.
Is this your friend?
Yes, my sister.
Oh,
We're sisters.
what's the name?
Bajana.
Bajana. Awesome. Where are you guys from?
From Kiev.
Awesome. Nice to meet you. Please have your seat. Hi, Zoe. Awesome. I didn't hug you? No, sorry. How could I miss you? Let's see. And what's the name?
Esther.
Esther. That's an easy name to remember. Awesome. Praise God. So how are you guys doing? Are you happy to be here? What have you done so far? If you want to respond or reply, you raise your hand. Okay?
We had a session about how to find yourself. And it was talking about how to accept yourself and discovering your passions and stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Any other person? You had a session this morning on how to find yourself, right? Okay, so what did you get from that session, Daniel?
It is important to accept oneself because, as we discussed, we're made to be complex, and we're also made in the image of God. So we should appreciate ourselves and find ourselves.
Okay, so what do we get? What do you get when you accept yourself? What does that give you? What advantage do you get when you accept yourself?
You have the advantage of confidence, and that will help you in many ways because, when you want to actually pursue what you want to do, it will help you. So you won't doubt yourself as much as other people, and you won't give up as easily, or you won't feel discouraged as easily.
Yeah, that's very important. That's very good because you can be successful. Are you translating? Okay, you can't really be successful. Hello, you can't really be successful without accepting yourself. The best state to be in life is a state of acceptance, accepting who you are, because that is the best place of action. That is the best, is the beginning. It's like a placement. It's like a plug and a socket. When a plug is put in the socket, it goes in firmly, then circuit, electricity can be passed through. But when you can't find the socket or when the plug is not going in well, then you have problem, you are not happy because things don't get passed easily or rightly. So accepting who you are, accepting your color, accepting your height, accepting your parents, accepting your country is the first stage to success. Knowing yourself and changing the world and influencing the world. Because if you are still struggling with who you are, if you are still struggling with your race, you won't be able to help other people. You need help yourself. But then when you accept who you are, when you accept that there is no mistake in God, there is no mistake in nature, that God has put into you everything you need to be able to affect your generation, to be able to change your generation, that the only thing you need is to keep developing it, to keep working on yourself, to keep developing those gifts, then you'll be more confident to do what God wants you to do. Awesome. Sorry, I need maybe a minute to open something in. Then we'll continue.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Zoe.
What's the topic?
I will tell you the topic. It just wouldn't open on my iPad, so you have an extra break. But you see that you remain where you are. просто не знаю, что надо. Но я сейчас выясню. И это не могу включить. Может быть, вы его включите. Wasn't it plugged?
Сейчас я включу.
С той стороны.
Может, надо подождать там минуту, чтобы она... О,
Очень
сейчас.
странно.
Есть?
Не знаю.
Никого нет дома? О. О, сейчас будет.
Появилась?
Да, сейчас надо.
Bro, wasn't it, when you got it, wasn't it plugged? Was it plugged?
Yes, it was plugged. And I checked if it was charged to see if I should take the recorder now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like maybe half, like 75%.
Did you just close it or you shut it down or you put it in the sleeping mode?
I closed it.
Next time you put it in the sleeping mode. Okay, I will tell you the topic later, but I have this question for you. We are starting with this question. You guys are in school, right? So, why do you go to school? Oh, sorry, I need to, you need this.
We go to school to learn things, mostly about different subjects, and to do like in the future as well.
Okay, why do you need to learn things?
You go to school also to help develop and sharpen some skills that you want to learn that will lead you to your goal or your passion.
Okay, so you go to school to learn things, you go to school to develop skills. Okay, so who in the schools where you go to, who teaches you in the school? Imisi.
The person who teaches us in the school is our teacher, because back in like in the past, they've learnt things before us. So then, if they want to become a teacher, they can teach us more things, like what we need to learn, because we haven't gotten to the next stage yet.
Okay, so in the schools, teachers teach you. So you learn from your teachers. The teachers help you to develop your skills, right? Okay, my next question is this. Do you guys know that some years back, maybe 20 years back, I don't know if you can imagine that, or 30 years back, that some of your teachers were kids just like you? Can you imagine that? Yeah? They were children like you. Is it possible to imagine that? Yeah? Possible or impossible? Okay, why is it impossible? Get the mic.
I guess, well, personally, but just because you're so used to seeing them every day, 5 days a week, seeing them as adults. Okay, we come to school, they teach us. that's how it is. It's just, it's really weird to think that they were once, like, they once didn't understand the things that they were teaching us. Like, our geography teacher told us that when we were in year 7, he was still in university. And just to think about that, I was like, no, this can't be right. But it's just hard to, like, have that concept that they once didn't learn, they didn't understand or know anything that they're teaching us. It just doesn't. Cool.
Yeah, it's like unimaginable, right?
Yeah.
But it's true. Do you guys believe, do you see, can you imagine it being true?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That your teachers were once children, kids, playing around 20 years back, 30 years ago. So you can still bring yourself to accept that. Are you able to bring yourself down to accept that?
I have to.
Okay, get the mic.
Yeah, because my teachers, they're not even really that old. Most of them are like in their 20s and stuff, so they still look pretty young. But I think it's the attitude, like the way they present themselves, make them seem a bit older. So it's harder to imagine that they were once young or they're even still young now. Like, yeah, like my Spanish teacher, for example, she's very tough. Like, she's very strict. Yeah, she's very strict, but she's like 25, and you wouldn't know that she is, especially because of the way she carries herself is with so much authority that you can't really defy her. So she seems more mature than she is. So it's harder to imagine that she was younger, and she was once opposed to having strict teachers as well because of how she is now.
Okay, it's harder to imagine, but can we still imagine it? Can we bring ourselves to a place of imagining that, of accepting that our teachers were once young, that our teachers were once little kids. They were once 2 years old, once 10 years old, once 15 years old, once 17 years old. Are we able to do that hard task and imagine and accept that? How is it working for us? Daniel, are you able to do that? You able to do that? Struggling with prayer. You able to accept that idea?
Yeah.
Esther?
Yeah.
Sydney? Sadie? Emisi? Pearl? Victoria? Bojana? Zoe? Okay. My next question is this. I'm sure you all have parents, right? And some of your parents came down with you. Is that correct? Okay. Can you also imagine that many years ago, many years back, your parents were also small, young kids? They were like you. Take the mic.
The only thing is that even if you can imagine it, it just kind of seems like an incomplete image. Like, maybe with your parents, you can imagine it by the stories that they tell you, and then when they tell you stories, it's easier too because you kind of understand what they were thinking. But like with the teacher, it's even harder because you only see the way that they think now. So even if you see a picture of them as a child, you'll still be thinking of them with their 44-year-old voice or something. And even if I'm thinking as a mom, as like a little baby, a helpless little baby, still I'm just like imagining a baby, and that's it. I can't think that's like, well, mom would be breastfed by someone, or that she'd be, I don't know, chasing crying whenever her mom left the room like I did when I was little. That's hard to see because I never saw mom that way. And yeah, so like you can like imagine it, but it just doesn't seem, yeah.
So we can imagine it,
Yeah.
right? I want to get every one of you to the state, to the place where you can imagine that and accept that as a truth. Are we all there or we are still struggling? We're all there. Okay. Babusha, can I get a board? Yes. Board, marker, and all those things. Okay. And then the next question is this. Do you imagine yourself, in 15 years, 20 years, 15, 20 years? Can you imagine how you would be, how you would look, where you would be, what you would be doing? Get some markers first. So get the mic, Veronica.
I can only say that in 15 years, I will be successful. I know it because I have a lot of plans and probably not all peers, but half of them will know me. I don't know what it will be, but I know that it should be. And I will be only successful.
Okay, so add 15 years to your age now, and add 15 and 20 years to your age now, and tell me how old you will be in 15, 20 years. So like if you are 10 years old, so you tell me 25, 30, okay? Okay? So add 15, 20 years to your age. And I gave you an example already. If you are 10 now, are you guys paying attention? Yeah? Did you get the task, the assignment? So add 15 to 20 years to your age. And I will ask each one of you now, and you tell me my age will be 25, 30. Let's start from Zoe so that we can easily pass
32, 37.
32, 37.
29 and
34.
yes. 30.
30
Yes.
and 35, right?
Yes.
Okay, next.
I'll be 24 and 29.
Okay. Next.
I will be 22 and 27.
Next.
20, 25 and 30.
Okay.
26 and 31.
31 and 36. 30 and 35.
31 and 36.
I'd be 33 and 38. Yeah.
32 and 37. Yes.
Now I will tell you what we are going to talk about. The topic. The purpose of being young. the purpose of being a child? Who can guess what is the purpose of being young? What is the purpose of being a child? Yeah?
I think the purpose of being young is so that we can make mistakes and learn from them, so that we won't, when it comes down to what really matters, like when we actually have to get to do something, when we actually have to do something important, it doesn't, we won't make mistakes, we won't make silly mistakes that will deter what we want to do.
Learn from mistakes, learn to avoid silly mistakes. Okay, any other suggestion? Take the microphone.
I think being young is the time in which you discover yourself and learn about your interests, what you like and don't like, and what you just like. I guess it's just like a period of discovery, like learning more about yourself and stuff.
Thank you. Yeah.
I feel like it's a time to work and develop ourselves, so we don't have to then be struggling later on in life when it's maybe not as. So it's better to work and build ourselves up now than to just play around and do whatever, and then later on we'll be having problems with like trying to make something when we don't have a foundation.
Thank you. Okay, let me help you as you talk. When you remember, we spoke about accepting yourself. You told me you had a class about that, yeah? And one of the advantages of accepting yourself is that it gives you confidence, right? So when I ask you questions, and when you are answering my questions, answer them confidently, okay? Answer them confidently. When you are saying something, make sure you say it clearly. Make sure you want to pass something across to me, and make sure you want to convince me about what you are saying. So you shouldn't be doubtful. You pay attention to the volume of your voice. You speak confidently. That is not a topic we are treating now, but it's very necessary because I have to strain my ears to hear some of you, and that is lack of confidence, okay? So when you take the mic, the purpose of speech is to be able to pass something across. So you have to overcome timidity. I think this is the purpose. You speak confidently, you speak clearly, you speak as somebody who knows what he is doing and what he is saying. Okay, can we try that? Okay.
The purpose of being young is to establish some core values, to have a foundation to grow off of and build it off of in life.
Thank
you. Well, you're welcome.
All right, any other options? Give it to Sadie. Stop, let me correct you. So when you have the mic, yeah, the mic is your helper. Who knows what the mic does for us? Amplifies our voice. It helps us to speak louder, right? Yeah. So when you have the mic, you bring it closer to your mouth. Not too close, not like this. Not inside your mouth, right? And it shouldn't touch your lips as well, but not too far. It has to get the sound, right? It has to get what it's going to amplify. We have to put an input. So if the mic is too far, it's almost as good as not having a mic. So if you don't know how to use the mic, then why do you need one? And we also need the mic so that we get the sound into the video that is being recorded. Okay? So that is the second thing I'm teaching you.
Надо, чтобы они говорили не прямо в него вот так, потому что это не простой микрофон, а чтобы он был чуть-чуть ниже. То есть, чтобы воздух, который идет с рта, ну, не дышал туда.
Okay. Значит, как они его держат нормально, далеко?
Ну, более-менее, чуть-чуть, ну, кому-то чуть-чуть ближе надо, кому-то чуть-чуть дальше.
So the mic is your helper, right? So it shouldn't be too far from your mouth and also not too close from your mouth, okay? Let's try that.
The purpose of being young is for you to be able to start working towards what you're going to be in the future and discovering who you're going to be and how you're going to achieve that goal.
Very good. Discover how to achieve your goals, right? Is that all we have? Good. You guys have very great, wonderful ideas. Yeah, the purpose of being young. You know, I told you to imagine 3 things. I told you to imagine your teachers. I told you to imagine your parents. And that was imagining backward, trying to see those people many years backward. Then later I gave you an assignment to imagine yourself forward, what your age will be in some years to come. The purpose of being young is to prepare ourselves for the future. Make sure you write that down. The purpose of being young is to prepare ourselves for the future. I'm not sure if this is a good one. Prepare ourselves for the future. So being young is a great advantage. Being young is a great blessing if we know the purpose, if we know what to do with it. Because believe me, 10 years will come, 15 years will come. You will become 25, you will become 30. Time waits for no man. So we are born into this world as small children. Then we see our time, childhood, adolescence. All those things are to prepare us for the real thing, to prepare us for our purpose, to prepare us to do what God has sent us to do. And that is why we have a lot of grace as children. We have a lot of grace. We come into this world. We have parents. Our parents take care of us. Most animals, you know, when they have their young ones, some of them within hours, they are able to survive. Some of them, maybe after 2 or 3 days, they start running around on their own and they can survive. But we, as human beings and as mamas, we can't survive. If we were given birth to, and our parents abandon us and there is nobody to take care of us, we would definitely die. We can't, as newborns, there's no way we can survive on our own. We need the help of other people. And one of those people in our lives are our parents. parents and guardians. And one of their major role in our life is to prepare us for the future. Is to prepare us for the future. Also, as we grow up, we have teachers. They also prepare us for the future. Our parents, they teach us life skills. Our teachers, they teach us professional skills. And as Christians, we also have God, faith in God. Because we all came from God. We didn't come from our parents. God gave us to our parents. So God is still our creator. God is still everything to us. And God also, as young children, God also prepares us for the future. And He gives us everything. Life and godliness. Life and godliness. And all these things are to prepare us for the future. So it's a big mistake. Are you guys with me? Let me see, are you following me? Yeah? You got everything? Okay. You can take picture of it. If it's difficult for you to follow or to make notes, you can take picture. So it is a big mistake when we think being young is just to have fun. It's just to play around. It's a big mistake when we think, oh, we don't need to bother about anything. We don't need to think about anything as young people, that we are young anyway. One of the most fruitful time in life is when you are young. Childhood, youth, youthfulness, adolescence. This is one of the most fruitful time of life. Great advantages you have as young people. Maybe some of you know that when a child is born, that it grows really, really, really very fast. That the cells in the body, not just in the brain, but the cells all over the body is always dividing, and dividing means it's always growing, And a big difference between a 1-year-old guy and 3-year-old boy, then 5 years, then the adolescence grows tall, grows big. You don't see those kind of growth after a certain age. After a certain age, actually, it's like the height is stable. There's nothing you can do about it. And that is an example of what is really happening in you guys as young people. And the purpose of HMT is to help you to realize the advantage you have now of being young and use it to build a very successful future, to use it to build a successful future on time so that you won't be late. So you'll be very fast in reaching your purpose. You will start very early in life. Another thing you have to know, so during these seasons, you grow fast. You grow fast. Another good thing about this season is that you are less fearful. So you grow fast. So anything you are able to get around this time also grows fast with you. Second advantage is you are less fearful. Because you don't have a lot of bad experiences. So actually you don't have a past. You know, most young people, they don't have a past. So the past is not bothering them. Are you still following me? You understand my language, right? They don't have a past. They don't have a lot of past experiences. So the past is not bothering them. The past is not holding them behind. So they are less fearful and they could be more adventurous. More adventurous. If you know the purpose of being young, then you will use that time to grow fast. You will use that time to accumulate important virtues, important wealth, life wealth. You will use that time to be more adventurous. Another good advantage of this season is that strong habits are formed during this season. Formation of strong habits. Formation of strong habits, formation of strong skills. And these things, they stay with you almost forever. Almost forever. So as young people, you have a responsibility. And your responsibility is not just to go to school. Your responsibility is not just to play. Your responsibility is to prepare for what is coming. Is to prepare for what is coming. Because the future is coming. Because adulthood is coming. Nobody remains a child forever. Nobody remains a child forever. And there is a cycle in life, a life cycle. That is, we come as newborns. We have childhood. We have adolescence. We have adulthood. Then you have old age. And then we have death. You know, you have early adolescence, you have late adolescence, you have young adulthood, you have late adulthood, you have early old age, you have the real old age, and you have death. Death means we'll die. So nobody forever remains a newborn. Everything is moving forward. Either you like it or not. After sometimes, you find out that you are no longer a newborn, you are now a child. But you won't remain there forever. Before you know it, you'll find yourself in adolescence. Some of you are now 16, you are now 17, some of you are 20-something, but you were like 8. You were like 10 years old sometimes back. And before you know it, it's like 17. How did I get there? When did that happen? So fast. But you won't remain 17 forever. Before you know it, you go to university, you go to college, you become adults. People will start relating to you as adults. You start having more responsibilities. You that you were just a child some years back, you start having more responsibility, and it will not stop there. A time is coming when you become old. A time is coming when you become very, very old. And a time is coming when we will all die. So, everything is moving forward. Everything is pointing to the future. And the best time to start preparing for the future is when we are young. Another reason why one of the most fruitful seasons of life is when we're young, when we're a child, our adolescence, is that we have a lot of support, good support system. We have a lot of good support system. What does that mean? Do you guys have a clue? Do you want to make a guess? Okay, Sadie.
Because you're at a young age, you have people around you who help you do things and care for you.
Absolutely. Very right. Very correct. During these seasons of your life, you have a very good support system. You have your parents, you have your guidance, you have your teachers, everybody waiting on you, everybody serving you. Your parents, they make sure that you are healthy. Your parents, they make sure that you are well fed. Your parents, they make sure that you are well clothed. You have warm clothes in winter. You have comfortable clothes in summer. They care about your security. At school, your teachers, they care about you understanding the materials, knowing the materials. They're always calling you, asking you, are you fine? Are you okay? Is there anything you need? That won't go on forever. They are doing that for you because you are a child. They are doing that for you because you are young. They are doing that for you because you're an adolescent. When you become old, an adult, you will have to do that for another person. Nobody will be running after you like they were running after you when you were young. So it is very wise to use that time to build your future, to develop skills, to develop strong habits. Use that good support system for your good. They give you money. You don't need to work. You don't need to earn money. You just go to dad, I need some money. Can I get some money? You go to mom, can I get some money? But when you become an adult, people will be coming to you. That means you have to cater for yourself. Now nobody is even asking you, how do you get money for yourself? But other people will be asking you, can I get some money? I need some money. Because as an adult, they expect you to have money because you had time to prepare for the future. You had time to prepare for the future. So you guys are lucky to be hearing this when you are still young. And it's a great opportunity for you to make things right if you don't have things right now, and to imagine your future, to see your future. Many young people, they get it wrong when they don't imagine their future, when they don't see their future, when they think things will always be like it is, they think they will be young forever. And then when the reality comes, they get shocked, they get disoriented, they don't know how to cope with life, they don't know how to cope with difficulties, and then they become failures, they become unsuccessful, and some of it really ends in great disaster. So the purpose of being young is to prepare ourselves for the future. Now I want to go to the second part of this teaching, but before then I want to ask you, I want to know if any of you, if you have any questions so far. Do you guys have any question about what we've said so far? Or if you have any comment, or if there is something you want to comment on, or something that got to you in a different way, or if there is any decision you've made, or if there's anything you would do differently from what you've heard today. Please get it. Okay.
Well, I think that sometimes, people in general have the tendency to look at the easy way out. So sometimes, all of us, maybe in our past before, we've kind of tried to lean on the fact that we're children. So sometimes when maybe we could do something ourselves or something, but because, like Mom said, we have people serving us and we have people waiting on us, we sometimes will be like, well, Mom can do it for me or my teacher can do it for me, so why don't I have them do it? I don't feel like it today. But the process of time is going on, and we shouldn't have the habits of staying like a child. Every day, that's another step towards adulthood. It's another step towards old age. That's another death. That's another step towards eternity with Jesus Christ. And while we're still here on earth, we have to make the most of what we have, and we have to not let time get the best of us. We have to make the best of our time. So I think that in my life, maybe I've been like lukewarm, like in working with myself, because I know that I have to grow up, but still sometimes I think, well, I'm not that old yet. See, I'm 14. I'm still closer to the smaller side of teenagerhood. I'm still closer to 12 and 11. And see, when I get to 15, then okay, then I can act adult in this situation. But right now, I'm still little. So I can still act like that. I think we should still always be trying to work out the habits that we'll need in adulthood and that we'll need in the future, because it will come. And this time now, it's for the future. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting, the relationship between the past and the present and the future. It seems kind of confusing, but it's constantly flowing every second. this second just is going to become the past second, and then the future seconds is just coming and it's coming. So you can't hold on to the present now and think that it's something, because it's not. And the present will be something else pretty soon. So it's better to live knowing what's coming in the future. And yeah.
Okay. Pass the mic. You are older, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just turned 18,
Okay.
so thank you. I think for me, like, I was just listening to you and I was just like thinking about, because now in England I'm classed as an adult now, and I was just like having like a moment where I was just like thinking of like past 18 years, like I'm not even considered a child anymore, and still it's like I don't want to get like upset with myself, but it's like I feel like I've wasted so much time kind of thinking that I have more time when I don't, and it's just hard because like now that I'm going to uni and I'm meant to take care of myself and there's so much responsibility and everything, it's like I feel because I haven't taken it seriously, I don't feel ready for it, but I can't really do anything about it now. I just have to kind of deal with it and move on, I guess. But if I could say anything to anyone who's, I don't want to get emotional because it's like, who's just like, I've had so much like support. Thank you. I think for me, I'm just taking it really hard because it's like there have been people who've always been telling me like, if you don't have time to be wasting now, and you don't have any more time to be like playing around and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'm only 17, I'm only like 16, I don't have to think about the future right now. And I've just kept putting it off, so it's like I can't do anything about that now. I just have to like deal with it and move on. So in a sense, I hate admitting this, but in a sense, it's like I'm kind of scared for everything because it's like I haven't prepared myself in the right ways. Like I've always thought, oh, I've still got like I keep thinking like, oh, I've still got loads of time, and I've still got like, I don't have to think about what kind of job I'm going to do, how I'm going to support myself, how am I going to pay rent, how am I going to, like, even just grocery shopping and stuff. Like, it's just, like, once you hit 18 years old, you don't have the time to play around anymore. And even though it's really hard to grasp, it's something we just have to deal with. So if I could like say anything to anyone, even
sorry, are you guys listening to her? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
So if I could like give,
because this is a child
guys
talking to you, you know. Yeah.
if
It's
I like,
very important what she's saying.
if I could give any of you guys advice, even in your like young teenage years, from 14, 15, I know it's like really annoying to think about like your future and stuff, but you need to start preparing for it, because I know my older brother, he turned 20 as well, and he's been working on stuff for ages, and he's got his life sorted out, and he's like got a business and everything, and I've just been like waiting for something to happen to me, and it's not. So I would just tell everyone, use every single day as if it's your last, because it's going to get to a point where you don't have anyone anymore to tell you that I'm here for you and like I can support you and stuff, because it's going to get to a point where you're just on your own and you can't do anything about it. So
that's a fact, that's an hard truth, and you guys are very lucky to be hearing this at such a young age, to make things right very young. I mean, to to start building your life very young. While Ife was talking, I wrote something here, a myth. Some of the myths we believe as young people, I still have time. And she mentioned that. Oh, I still have time. I still have time for my own work. I still have time for this. I'm just 9. I'm just 12. I'm just 15. Then I'm just 50. Before you know it, you will just find out that I'm just 50. So we don't really have much time. So we have, as we play, we also have to build our future. As we go to school, we have to build our future. They must go together. You have to play. Adults also need to play. We need it for, mental health. You can't be serious all the time. And nobody is saying you shouldn't play. As kids, you have a lot of fun, but just add some seriousness to it. Use all these advantages. Practice on your parents. Use things you can use while you are still there. Make sure you are prepared for the big life. The big life, adult life, is like when a child is in the mommy's belly, right? The child is just in the belly. Everything the child has got is just the mom's belly. It can run. The child can roll to the left or to the right, move a little bit downward or upward. That's everything they had, right? But when a child is born, it comes into a big life, big waters, big sea. And then when the child is holding up, it can start walking, it can start traveling, big world. It enters a big world. It's the same thing. While you are still with your parents, it's like you are in a larger belly, but it's still in a belly, You have a frame, you are controlled. They ask you, where are you? Come home on time, la 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 la. They take care of you, make sure your room is made. Have you eaten? Have you not eaten? But then a time is coming now when you will have to go into the big world and nobody cares. Nobody really cares. Even the government cares a little. Some governments don't care. And even the developed countries, the government cares like this. It will only go not too far. You're on your own. And if you have wasted your childhood, your youthfulness, your adolescence, if you have wasted it and you've not prepared yourself to be alone, to live alone, to take care of yourself, and even to take care of other people, you will find it very difficult. You will find it very difficult, and sometimes you may not be able to make up for the lost years, because those 18 good years were given to you for preparation. And during those 18 years, you add everything. You add everything. You didn't need to think about where to live. You didn't need to think about paying rent. You didn't need to think about food. You were even choosing, I don't want this, I want that. You didn't need to think about clothes. Even your clothes, they will wash it for you. They will iron it for you. They'll put you in car, take you there, bring you back. But then after 18, you have to take care of yourself. So the purpose of being young is to use all those facilities around you to prepare yourself for the future. So it's a big myth when you think, I still have time, when you don't really have time. You don't have it. And I also added here that, childhood, youthfulness, adolescence, another advantage is like you are celebrated more. Because when you become successful early, as a teenager or as a young adult, people will say, oh, he's just 20 and he's a millionaire. is just 20 or is just 16 and is an inventor. So people celebrate you more. So you become, you find yourself on the fast lane. But when you become a millionaire at 50, it's like, and what? And when did he plan to become a millionaire? At 70? Or, it's like, it's almost too late. It's like it's almost too late. Okay. Any other comments? What are you getting for yourself, and what decisions are you guys making? Daniel, are you making any decision? Yes, please.
Mine is quite the opposite. Now I appreciate my adolescence more. Like, maybe it was the way I was brought up, but because from a very young age I already knew a lot of things. So I wanted to always try to prove to my parents, and I was always waiting for when I become 18 or when I become an adult. But so even now as my parents left me, I'm 17 in the university, but like I appreciate my youth, my childhood much more right now.
Can you expatiate? Can you clarify? What do you appreciate in it? Like, just explain more. Like, you are self-sufficient. Are you financially independent? How are you coping with life skills? Expatiate more so that people can learn more from you. Or is it the freedom?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that when I was younger, I was always like looking
forward
for more
time.
freedom, yeah,
Okay.
and towards the future.
Mm-hmm.
I never really thought about how my parents were the ones providing for me. Even up to now, they're still the ones paying the school fees, paying the rent of the hostel and everything. So even though I may think that, okay, I've grown up to a certain level because I'm independent, I'm living in a different country on my own, well, I still depend on my parents for certain things, and it makes me appreciate my childhood more. That this is the time to start doing certain things. Yeah.
Certain things like... Do you mean like preparing for the future more? Or?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But you now, after your parents left, you seem to appreciate them more now.
Yes, I appreciate them.
Yeah, because sometimes when we are with them, we don't really get the feel of what we are enjoying. We take a lot of things for granted.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very good. Thank you. But I understand that you have a lot of life skills. Yeah, you are able to manage yourself, self-discipline, self-motivation, self-management, right? You have that on a good level.
Yeah.
Yes. You can cook, you can wash, and you can take care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Correct. Good job.
I have a question. Like I said, I'm about to go to uni, but what can I do to, like, not necessarily regain, like, learning how to take care of myself and stuff, but how can I use the next few years that I have in uni, which is still, like, it's still, like, kind of a cushioned environment because there's still, like, teachers and my parents are still close, but how can I, like, use this, like, next 4 years or so to maximize on everything I didn't take advantage of when I was, like, 17 and below, because just thinking about it, it's like I don't know how to be an adult yet, but I'm kind of being forced to, so, like, what can I do to kind of train myself back into that?
Okay, actually, that's the second part of this class. I wanted to talk about our goals, you know, our goals for the future, you know, for us to have goals, for us to have a checklist, you know, what are the things to have to prepare you for life. So by God's grace, we should be able to write with you a checklist, and you just go through the checklist and then learn, you know, talk to your parents. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube, practice, like at home now. I don't know how you do with cooking, but if you think you're not very good at that, then you can take that responsibility up in your family and tell mom, okay, like for the next 3 months, I'll be cooking for the family. I want to practice that. I want like part of preparing for the uni, maybe laundry, ironing, because the family is also is a good like workshop. It's like a good laboratory for us where we can practice all this. And actually, that's the purpose why we have a family, why we have those settings, so that we can learn all those things in the family. So by God's grace, when we write those checklists, then you will just, it includes physical, it includes psychological. We have to have physical goals, we have to have material goals, we have to have spiritual goals, we have to have emotional, psychological goals, you know, social goals. So, and if we have that, and if we have those checklists, then we become more confident, and we know we are adults, and we know that we are now able to take care not just of ourselves, but we're able to take care of other people, because what makes us adults is not being able to take care of ourselves alone, you know, but also being able to take care of other people. Because when we were younger, adults were taking care of us and they were taking care of themselves, you know. So now, as we step into adulthood, or we'll step into them in 10 years, right? Here, the least we have is 22, and this was plus 15. Yeah, so if we take it, okay, we have 24 here, 22, it's still 22. So if we subtract 5 from here, we get 17. Yeah, and that will be in 10 years. Do we have somebody that is 7 here? You are 7? What are you doing here? Who registered you? Yeah, but you are lucky. I just hope you'll be able to cope with this. Yeah, yeah. So being an adult is not just taking care of yourself. I mean, it's taking care of yourself comfortably and still able to take care of other people. I think because of time, we have to go to the second part of the purpose of being young. So we can erase this part. This word, purpose, to fully understand it, we have to have goals. And it's never too early to have goals. When we talk about goals, when we talk about being successful, some people think that's an adult thing. Adults are the ones with goals. Adults are the ones to think about being successful. We are children. We play games. We have fun. It's not our topic. But really, it's your topic if you're alive, if you're a human being, and if you're moving forward. So in order to grasp the purpose of being young, we have to have goals. Because our goals, they shape us. They shape us. They help us to be organized and even self-organized. They help us to be disciplined, which is very close to being organized. They help us to be motivated. So it is very important for all of us to have goals. Our goals must be written down. Can you imagine a Missy if at the age of 7 she would have written down our goals? Our goals must be written down. And we must visit our goals, preferably every day or at least once a week. Visit your goal every day or once a week, so that you are reminded of them. How many of you have a written goals now? That you have your goals written somewhere? Raise your hand. 1, 2. Okay. Okay. Short goals. Good, good. Like I said, if you don't have a goal by now, it's already, it's like you are late. It's not too late, but you are late. Your goals could be revised. Could be revised. And it will be revised because you are growing up. You'll be picking new stuff by the way that you will add to your goals. You'll be updating your goals with time. But if you don't have one now, it's late. And the assignment for this class will be for you to write your goal. You write your goal and submit it. Ms. Babosha will tell you where to submit it to. So you must have a goal. A simple goal, a complex goal. You must have a goal. What will help you with your goal is the future. Where do you want to be when you will be 20? How do you want to look when you will be 20? So let your goal cover the major part of your life, like your studies, your goals. Yes. Can you get the mic? So.
I just didn't understand what you meant by let your goals cover the major parts of your life. Does that mean that you should set goals in all the major spheres of your life?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
Okay.
that's exactly what we are doing now.
All right.
Yeah. So one of the major sphere of your life now is your studies, right? Adults go to work, and where do you go to? You go to school. So the school is your work. Every morning, everybody gets out of the house. Mom and dad, uncle and aunts, they go to work, and the children go to school. So the school is your work. The school is your working place. So you must have a goal for your studies. Your goals must include your grades. So write that down now. I want to give you a minute to set a goal for your grades. next school year or your first year in the uni. At least you will have an idea of the courses you will take in the university. You should have an idea of the subjects you will be taking next year. Who has an idea of the subjects he or she will be taking in September? School starts in September, right? Or late October. October, for you October, right? For most of you September, right? Or late August. Yeah. So you already know the subjects you'll be taking. And that is very important. That's what holidays are for you to think about next grade, next class, what are the subjects I'll be taking, and then set goals for those subjects. The grades you want to have. You set the goals, and then you move towards the goals. If you want to have A, do you have the system of A, B in it?
Yeah, it's kind of, it changed to
1 to 9, right?
9
No.
is like above an A star and 1 is like you fail.
Okay, so 1 to 9, right? You have 1 to 9 system. We have A to F system. Yeah. So, I mean, set a goal. Set a goal in all your subjects: biology, maths, English. So set your goals in those subjects. And then how to achieve your goals. Because if you want to get 9 in a subject, you must ask yourself, what do I need to get 9 in those subjects? If you want to get A, you must ask yourself question. If you want to get 1, then you don't have to do anything. If you want to get F, you are ready. You have done everything, right? But if you want to get a top mark, if you want to be at the top of your class, first you set the goal and move towards your goals. But there's nothing to move towards if you've not set your goals. So set your goals for all your subjects. If you have done that, then you would have used part of your holiday to cover most of the curriculum. Like if you are going to 10th grades, you would have, during the holiday, cover most of the curriculum of 10th grade maths. Yeah, there are a lot of, there's another thing, at least 3. Yeah, I excel at least 4 or 5 of those, you know. Because I want to get A. A means I want to be ahead of the class. I want to even be ahead of my teacher. So can you imagine how pleasant is it when you are in a math class and your teacher is teaching what you have already known? It's so relaxing. Isn't it? Yeah, it's so relaxing. I mean, you are just refreshing your mind, you know. To some children, they are seeing it and hearing it for the first time. And to them, oh, it's difficult. How are we going to? You are just relaxing. You are strengthening those neurons in your brain because you've learned it. You've done a lot of practices on them. You are set. You are ready. That's one of the ways to top your class. Become a smart student. Become a smart student. And as Christians, in the Bible is written, I have more understanding than my teachers, right? I have more understanding than my teachers. But that doesn't happen just automatically. We pray, we believe in God to help us, but you also walk ahead. Especially if you know you are a slow learner. That means what other people will read one time and understand, you need to read it 2, 3 times. So you use your breaks effectively. You use your time effectively. So you prepare ahead, preparation. And this you must also know when you are setting your goals concerning your grades, that you have potential. You have learning skills. You have learning ability. You can top your class. Everybody in your class can get 9. Everybody. If you have 15 students in your class, if they set a goal, and if they don't have learning disability, they could be a slow learner, they could be an average learner, they could be a fast learner, all of you can get 9. All of you can get 9. All of you can know the math. Maths is already known. The problem they are giving you to solve, you are not the one solving it for the first time. People have solved it 100 times before you. So it's a problem that has been solved. You just need to know how to solve it. So believe in yourself, believe in God that you can do it. It may take you more time, it may take you less time, but you can do it. Everybody in your class can do it. Everybody in your class can get A in maths, A in history, A in English, A in science. Everybody. If they set the goal, if they walk towards it, it's a free world. Are you guys following me? Yes. Are you with me? Yes. So set your goals concerning your study. Okay? Another area where you need to set your goals is your behavior. Your behavior at home, is your parents, siblings, in school with your peers, classmates, teachers, in church, since most of us here are Christians, church, Sunday school. If you go to other places, like maybe you are learning to play guitar, maybe you are going to a music school or some extra class, everywhere, have a goal about your behavior. You know, set a goal. I want to be polite. I want to tackle difficult situations wiser. So that is your emotional skill. Relate to people, helping people, to be kind. If you are a high-tempered person, set a goal that, you know, to think before taking action. Set a goal in that area. Also, I would advise you to set a goal in the area of financial management. Financial management. And set a goal about earning money. How much do you want to be earning every month? It could be 10 pounds. It could be, and that is regardless of the fact that, okay, your parents are giving you everything you need, the government is giving you everything you need. You are building your ability to see opportunity to earn money. It can start by just economizing your pocket money. You can start with that by just economizing your pocket money. You hand that, you put it in a saving account. It's not the amount that matters. It's your ability to discipline yourself and your ability to know that you must, as an adult, have a saving account. It's the financial discipline that you don't just spend everything that comes into your hands. So that brings financial discipline into your life. You also have to set a goal in your spiritual life. You have to have spiritual goals. Reading the Bible every day, meditating every day, praying to God, morning, evening, talking to your friends about God, being part of a charity project in school, in your society. That is like spiritual and social goals together. It's not too early to have those goals. And the next goal you must have is professional goals. Who do you want to become? Who do you want to become? Even if you are not sure, find something or a profession you think you like. Even if you are not sure that that is whom you want to become in the future, but find a profession that you like and start moving towards that. Then along the way, it will get corrected. Because the principles, the skills you will gain by moving towards your professional goals will help you if you later find out that let's say, now you will say, I want to become an accountant. So your goal, I want to become an accountant. And you know, as we write these goals, you have your goal, then the next page will be how to achieve my goals. Because it's not enough just to have a goal. Everybody can say, I want to go to America and still remain in their house. You know, everybody can say, my goal is to become the president of my country, and still, so everybody can write anything. But the difference between you and other people is that you move towards your goals. You have the next page that says, how to attain my goals. Things I need to do to attain my goals. So, concerning the professional goals, let's say, for example, you at age 7 or at age 10, you decided, or you are not even so sure, but you decided to be working on a professional goal of becoming an accountant. Then, how to attain my goal? At least you have to know everything about an accountant. Who is an accountant? What are the courses they take in the university? Where do they work? What are the subjects they need to be good at to become an accountant? So you work on that. Maybe every week or every month you read an article. You find a good site for accountants. You read that. You listen to talk on being an accountant, you know, all the modern things that are happening in accountancy. Okay, the best accountants in the world and stuff like that. Then let's say at 15, you decided to become an architect. You know, all this while, you've been praying to God that God, when I grow up, help me to become an accountant with a difference. You are following successful accountants. You see what they do, how they do it. Now let's say 3 years later or 5 years later, now you've grown up, you understand better, and then you decided to become an architect. You see, all what you went through preparing yourself for an accountant will also help you as you prepare yourself to become an architect. You could even become a better architect because you already have certain kind of skill in accountancy. And you can, if you later become an architect, you will bring something different to the sphere because you are not just an architect, you are really an accountant. Yes, you didn't go to uni, you don't have a degree, but you have self-educated yourself. And there are some skills, there are some approach that they have in accountancy that will help you. And even being an architect, you will still work with money, you will still work with accountant, and that can help you, that can save you. Even when you are talking to professionals, or maybe when you have a bookkeeper in your company, the person can't just be taking you around your nose because you understood something, because you thought you would become an accountant. So that's why it's very important, because it's not really about like, I'm still young, I don't know if I'll become an accountant. Just take something that you like for now. Around the road, it will get shaping out. As you grow, as you understand things better, you will know exactly what you want to do. But all these skills, all this process, they are developing something in your brain, They are strengthening those connections that will help you later in life, regardless of whoever you want to be. Another example could be, maybe at age 12, you decided to be a doctor. And maybe you decided to be a doctor, and then later, very close to going to uni, you felt the call of God on your life. You felt God wants you to become a missionary, or God wants you to become a pastor. Then instead of going to the uni, you decided to go to, actually you went to the uni, but you went to study theology, you went to study pastoring and stuff like that. But all this while, as a young person, as a teenager, you've studied a lot about medical science, all those things. So now, when you become a when you become a pastor or a missionary, all the things you have learned on your own can still help you. These things will help you to become a pastor with a difference. A pastor that understands nutrition, a pastor that understands something in medicine, a pastor that understands first aid. Because most of the things we do in life, they are connected. Are you guys with me? Yeah. So we have to set goals concerning our studies. I told you to write down your grades. We have to set goals concerning our behavior, because sometimes it's taken for granted. Oh, he's a teenager, she's a teenager. They can be hyper, they can be disrespectful, they can do anything they want. But when we have goals, when we visit our goals, when we pray, when we understand what is happening in our body, that our hormones are not our God. Yes, there are hormones that flows in our bodies during that time, but we can control them because we are the owner of our bodies. There are practical steps we could take. There are critical questions we could ask ourselves that will improve our behavior. So in the area of behavior, we need to set a goal. In the area of financial management, we have to set a goal. We have to understand the law of money. We have to start to earn money early in life, doing extra things that can earn us money, or try to start earning money, $2 per week online, transcribe some things, edit some things. The amount doesn't matter now. What matters is the skill, the ability to see opportunity and understand that I need to know how to make money. You have to set goals on, I've said that spiritual goals because we need God, we always need God, professional goals. You have to set goals concerning, being self-disciplined, your rooms, your table, your desk at school, becoming an organized person, becoming a disciplined person, motivated person. You have to have social goals. It would be good to take part in some charity projects, especially during holidays. During school months, you could be very busy in school, but then maybe once a month, maybe quarterly, or during the holidays, become part of some projects. So, like I said, your assignment will be writing your goals in all these areas. But even before we move further, I wanted to ask you, maybe there are other areas of life you think you should also set goals. If you think there are other areas of your life, please raise your hand and we'll add it to it. Get the mic, please, Pearl.
Well, I think that health is very important.
Thank you. Yeah, health. Yeah. Any other thing? So that will include your food choice, yeah?
Yeah,
Eating healthier food.
I think it helps. I mean, I think that all of these spheres help each other in different ways, but yeah, being able to realize the effects of certain foods on you and how it's best for you to eat, because everybody's bodies are different, and when it's best for you to work out, what type of sports, just to know those things, those would be really good for you. And I think it will have you think and plan out your day better too, even so.
Okay. Zoe, do you think there's any other area one could set goals?
I think you mentioned before psychological and emotional,
Mm-hmm.
and social, and the skills, like talents that we already have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Talents. It's good for everybody to learn at least one musical instrument. So it would be good to have a goal either to learn piano or guitar or something like that. And your talents, if you're good in writing, if you're good in singing, you have to set a goal to move to the next level. So psychological, emotional, they all fall under behavioral something. Okay, Bajana, are you with us? Okay, do you want to add anything to this? No. Veronica? No. Okay. Let's give the mic to Imisi. Imisi, do you want to add anything to this? I understand. Okay, Seiji, do you want to add anything? Sydney, you want? Oh, Esther? Nothing? Ade? You're fine? Okay.
Could maybe like family life be one?
Family life?
I don't think it's
Actually,
I
we
don't
first.
think it's as important, but because obviously you need to get yourself established and stuff. But maybe have a goal for when you think you're going to be ready to settle down.
Yeah, that is later in life as an adult, right? Yeah. That's a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
Maybe like self-development goals, like if you want to read a certain amount of books a year, or like study more about a certain subject that you're interested in or something.
Yeah, that's also a good thing. Yeah, the number of books you want to read, if there's certain topic you want to deepen into more. Very good. Daniel, anything, any area one should include goals? Okay, Sadie is ready.
You could set goals for the activities you could do.
Health, sports, right? Mm-hmm. Pearl, you wanted to add anything?
I think that's what Ife said. You should set goals in self-education.
Mm-hmm.
That I think you should plan. Well, like, yeah, you can have a topic they want to get better in, but I think you should like break that up into. So I'm going to read this book by this time, and watch this many videos by that time. So you should like have a schedule in where you want to work on yourself. And with activities too, I think Sadie is also right, that you should maybe set goals in time management.
Mm-hmm. That's very correct. So it all falls under self-organization, discipline, motivation. Because self-organization means you have to manage your time. So that's very, good. So like I said, so when you find your purpose, when you set these goals, setting goals is half job done. You also have to write, how am I going to attain this goal for each goal you set? And also those things will be edited from time to time, will be updated. You will find better ways of attaining your goals. So the more I visit my goals, the more I correct them, I shape them. So you should know that, but your life will become more meaningful. Setting goals and moving towards attaining your goals, they make your life more meaningful. They help you to grow up. They help you to find balance in life. Remember, I did not say you should stop playing. You should stop enjoying the fun of being young. No, you just need to have some time to think about the future and to build yourself for the future. And I've mentioned this and I'm saying it again, that everybody has potential. Everybody can learn how to read. Everybody can learn how to drive. Everybody can learn any subject. Almost everybody can learn any subject. People have, some people take more time to learn maths. Some people take less time to learn history. But everybody has a potential. And you must know that nobody is better than you. And that was what I was saying when I said everybody in your class can get 9. Everybody in your class can get A. It's possible. Nobody is better than you. So you are not worse than anybody. You know, you have the greatest thing in life. That's your brain. And then you have another greatest thing in life. That is God. So you are not worse than anybody. You are not worse than anybody. You can only be better. And coming to HMT, listen to this class, and if you will apply what you've learned today by writing your goals, by revising the lessons, all the things we said, the purpose of being young, then you can only become better. You can do much more than you ever think you can. And you can be much more than you ever think you can. You only need people to show you. You only need to listen to classes like this. Believe in yourself. Start taking those steps, little steps, and I mean you will get to where you want to be. And so self-motivation, self-management, you need this daily, like I said. And preparing for yourself, spotting opportunity, and taking action will make you successful in life. Will make you successful in life. So we're almost coming to the end of this class. Before we end finally, I want to hear from each of you again. what did you get from the second part of this class, the purpose of being young? Because the purpose of being young is to prepare ourselves for the future, and to get to the future, we have to have goals, goals. Where do you want to be in your studies in 5 years? What kind of universities do you want to go to? How do you want to look physically in 5 years? Your health-wise, your behavioral, emotional, psychological. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Because time is moving. Yeah, you will be 22, you will be 23, but how do you want your 23 years old to look like? How the inner value, what inner values do you want to have at 23? So I just want to have a feedback from you concerning the second part about goals, setting goals, and attaining goals. So let's start from Zoe again. I'll tell you. What did you get from the second part? Yes, please.
What do you mean by self-motivation?
Self-motivation, yeah. Does anybody understand? Oh, sorry, I have this. Does anybody understand what is self-motivation? Okay, what? Okay.
When you motivate yourself to your goal.
Motivate yourself to a goal. Okay, any other option? Okay.
Even when other people are telling you you can't do it, or it looks like the chances of you actually doing what you want to do are slim, you know that you still believe that you'll be able to do it, and you have enough confidence in yourself that you'll be able to go forward and you won't give up easily.
Yeah, yeah. Self-motivation. Motivation is. Pardon me?
Wanting to do it?
Yeah, motivation is, a desire to do something. You are being pulled to something. Like I'm motivated to attend the party because they will give a gift at the party. Everybody that attend the party, they will give a gift. Or I'm motivated to go for sport because after that I will get an ice cream. So it's something that makes you do something. It's something that makes you do something. And we get a lot of motivation in life, Sometimes we get a prize, we get a thank you, we get all this, you are the best, la la la. But self-motivation is very important when you are not getting those external motivation. It's very important when nobody believes or few people believe you can do what you say you can do. So now, nobody is sharing you, nobody is clapping for you. It's like you don't have a fan. And then, but you inside, self means I, myself. Myself, I'm being motivated. It's not always good to rely on other people's motivation. It helps us, but self-motivation goes longer than the motivation we get from other people. The motivation that comes from within is better than the motivation that comes from outside. So it's good when we have other people motivating us, very good, perfect, but the best motivation that will help you go through tough times. When people will tell you, oh, so you are not good at that, stop doing that, la 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 la. And even when you hear voices, thought comes to you, you are not good at maths, you are not good at science. But then you self-motivate yourself with things like, I'm not worse than the best mathematicians in this world. I have potentials. I have the same brain. If I put in enough effort, I can become whom I want to become. So it's a motivation that comes from inside. It also has to be built. It has to be developed. Did I help, Zoe? Okay? So let's get a feedback from this class. It's similar to self-organization. When we have parents, they tell us, put your books here, put your books here, put this here, cups are here, plates are here. That is parental organization, parents organizing you. But then when you yourself, now on your desk, in your room, in your closet, you yourself now likes to see things placed in order. You are not happy when people are, mistreating your stuff. Now, it's not, your room is clean, not because your parents are telling you that your room should be clean, but because now you are telling yourself, you got that realization. It's now self-discipline. A lot of kids, we behave well because our parents are around, because they tell us how to behave. But then the parental discipline must now grow into self-discipline. When we see the value of being organized, the value of being motivated, the value of being disciplined, the benefits of good behavior and discipline, and now we want it. I am now self-disciplined myself. I'm doing this not because my parents said it, I'm doing it because it's for me. It's for me. And anything, your goal, all these goals, is for you. It's not for your parents. If you have good grades, it's not for your parents. Those grades are not taking your parents anywhere. They are taking you. If you get A's, straight A's, your parents won't be admitted into a university because of your A's. Who will be admitted? You. So having great goals, working on yourself, becoming a noble person, becoming an honorable person is for you. You are paving way for yourself. You are making name for yourself. You are raising your standard. You are getting up into the high hierarchy. Everything you attain, every good thing you attain is for you. It is you that will get the benefit. It is you that will get the scholarship. It is you that will get the respect. It is you that will get the honor. Although it seems as if it's your parents that needs it. It seems as if, oh, it's my parents that want me to study this. But really, everything you do, you are the one that will get the name. So that is very important. You've not said anything? Just a question? Nothing about goals?
Except that some. To have too many goals can be overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, to have too many goals could be overwhelming, but here we have almost like 1 or 2 goals under every sphere. So this is not too much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I think that most important is motivation with self-organization, because when they are together, you can do everything.
Yeah.
And also important is to set and to realize what is your goal.
Absolutely.
You should know why do you want to do this and what for. And also you should believe in yourself. And all.
Thank you.
Okay. I think that all of these goals will help us in the future. If we will, it is like a puzzle, yes? We have 1 little part, 2 little parts, 3 little parts, and 1 plus 2nd plus 3rd, and it will take a big piece. And it will all help us. Behavior, parents give us possibilities to to learn something interesting, and it's help us to improve ourselves. It's like, how to say it? I can only say that it's very important in our life to like a foundation.
Yes. Okay, so again, all I can say is that, I mean, this was a very good message, and I didn't ever think that I had to have such a clear plan of the future. Okay, if I say this optimistically, then I'm motivated. If I say this optimistically, then pessimistically, then I'm a bit scared, because I always had like bits and pieces of like goals. I always had like goals, but not a complete plan to get out to them, or a plan to do some things, but not a big and overarching goal. But now I see that I have to set all these goals. I have to see the result clearly. But then, of course, there's no result without the process. That's not smart. So I need to also think out the process clearly. And so, yeah, I have to be responsible in those spheres. And may God help me.
Amen. So,
Your goals can help you with your future, because
take this picture.
when you write goals down, you know what you're going to do, and you know what you want to do when you're older.
That's true. Just a feedback on what you heard.
So your goals are there to help you in the future to fulfill your purpose on earth. And what I learned that you don't just make the goals and then do nothing. You have to work to reach them. So
Thank you.
Yeah, like you said, everyone can say that they want to do something, but if they don't have like a plan of action, how they're going to get there, it's useless. So that's what I've learned. I have to clearly have all the steps planned out so that I can actually achieve what I want, like what I say I want to achieve.
Very good.
I feel like you have to be disciplined to do what you want to do when you're older, and that you should have a purpose to what you want to do, and yeah.
Very good.
Once you have written your goals, you need to have a plan of a way to fulfill all the goals you have written down, because without having a plan to reach those goals, it's just a waste of time when
Absolutely.
writing
it. Brilliant.
I learned that it's never too early to start planning your goals and your future, and that they help you to be organized and know what to do exactly, and to help you know what you're working towards.
I learned that having goals is a way that it shows that you have a plan for your life, a plan for your future, and achieving those goals is obviously building a solid foundation for you to know what you want to do in your short-term, your long-term goals, and obviously going into your adulthood, and it will help you to develop who you are, and requiring or what you need to require in setting those goals are obviously your own self-organization. You need to motivate yourself and discipline yourself.
I learned that our goals, I didn't think that goals are that important, but I've realized that we really need goals to help us fulfill and get the future that we want to in this life. I feel like they're a way to hold ourselves accountable in a way. So if you set yourself a goal for your studies, for example, and you don't reach it, it's you can go back and reflect on it and see where you went wrong so that you don't make future mistakes.
Thank you.
I learned that self-motivation is really important, especially later on in life when you're not necessarily going to have the support that you have as a child. So yeah, self-motivation is going to be important for you, so you won't be discouraged when it feels like you're the only one who knows what you're capable of, and or people know but they're overlooking it because of whatever reason.
Great.
What I learned is that goals are important because they help us stay focused in life, and reviewing them on a regular basis helps us like keep that focus and reminds us of why we're doing what we're doing, and also that they need to be specific to be effective. So taking the time to really like plan how you're going to be successful in every area of your life will help you to achieve the goals faster than having a vague like brief like general kind of goal for everything.
Thank you.
I think in relation to the purpose of being young and goals, this is the time to make goals and systems of how to achieve those goals, because now that we're young, we still have time for like trial and error. What systems do not help reach particular goals that were set for ourselves?
Thank you. So this brings us to the end of this class. It's been nice being with you. So have fun, have goals.
Okay, let's stand up to appreciate Pastor Bose.